So here's a function, an algebraic expression, 2x squared minus x plus 3. So where does this take any input? We want to be able to take any input to an output. So, starting with f of x equals 0, you can see that you got 2 times 0 squared minus 0 plus 3. This takes you to a definitive output of, that's 0 minus 0 plus 3. It takes you to 3. 0 gets sent to 3. And we can do this for any real number. So that we say the domain of this function is all real numbers. Same with -1. 2 times -1 squared minus -1 plus 3. You got to be careful of your order of operations. The -1, you square the -1 first, so you get a positive 2. When you subtract this -1, it becomes a positive 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3 plus 3. We're looking at 6 now. Let's do a little harder one with some fractions. So you got 2 times a -1/2 squared minus a -1/2 plus 3. So we got a little more work to do here. So fractions, we all love fractions. So we get 2 times a quarter. -1/2 squared is a quarter. The minus minus a half is plus a half. And then we got our plus 3 still. And so 2 times a quarter is a half plus a half is 1, plus 3 is 4. All right, now let's be a little more abstract. That's taking numbers to an output. What about like a -x? What is going on there? Well, so we're going to do the same thing. We are going to take 2, and we're going to multiply it by -x. We're going to square it, we're going to subtract -x plus 3. Now, if you're plugging this into a computer system like My Math Lab, they would count this wrong, even though it's kind of right. But they're gonna say simplify your answer, and this is not considered simplified. So we got to go a step further here. We got to write this as 2x squared plus x plus 3. That's what they're looking for as far as what is f of -x. All right, our last one requires a lot of algebra, so let's do it. So f of 1 minus x, so let me just rewrite it there. F of 1 minus x, what we're talking about is taking a whole expression here. We're going to go 2 times 1 minus x squared. We're going to subtract 1 minus x. We're going to add 3. Now, there's a lot of places to make mistakes here, put your algebra caps on, and remember there's some foiling going on here. So you got 2, you got the first is 1, you got the outer and inner, -x, and -x is -2x, and you have the last, which becomes a positive x squared. And I'm going to put some parentheses there, so we be sure and distribute that 2 all the way through. I'll do that in one step here. We're going to have to distribute that negative as well. So let's do that now. Let's do the distribution. So you got 2 minus 4x plus 2x squared, and then we're distributing this negative. You get -1 positive x plus 3. All right, and we're almost there. We just need to collect like terms. Let's do it in order of degrees. So let's start with the quadratic term, 2x squared, and then we got our x's. So we got a -4x and a positive x. So that's a -3x, and then we have our constants. 2 minus 1 is 1 plus 3 is 4, and there is our solution for f of 1 minus